following is a presentation of Zagnif Productions, LLC.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey gang, what's going on? How are you doing? How are you doing? And how are you doing? You over there, and you over there, and you all the way up in the cheap seats. Hope you guys are all having a great time. Thank you so much for coming out once more and again to another edition of what is it another edition of, Anthony? I'm glad you asked. It is This Week in UGA Football Season 2, Episode 43, the season finale, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't mean that we going away. It just means we're wrapping up everything for the 2022 season right here in this episode. Can you hear it? UGA, UGA, UGA,
Red,
UGA.
black, red, black. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, you good. I was getting ready to come with you. Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia Bulldogs. Man, we in a good mood today. And if you can't tell why, if you don't know why, then you just have not been watching and following college football for the last several weeks, especially last week. Dogs cap off a historic season with a 15-0 record, winning also the SEC championship and the national championship to become only the 12th team in the modern college football era to win back-to-back national championships. My man, me and my homie here could not be more proud. But enough about that. Let's get to the introductions and get right on into it. I am coming to you from Zagnif Central in the heart of Oklahoma City, right here. I love this, bro. You see you see the additions up there, right?
I'm loving that. I'm loving that. I can't keep my eyes on that.
I gotta adjust the camera so everybody can get a good look at it. I had a few additions, and the plug is gonna hook me up on two more of these right here too. So, yeah. So anyway,
Amazon's gonna be sending me a lot of stuff in the next month or so. I mean,
bro, the championship gear is really getting ready to get silly now. But I am Mr. Fingers coming to you from Zagnif Central, and that guy over there, he is the brother from another, the sexy mother Hubbard, the ace of base, in the place, in your face. Colin P. from the DMV. How are you doing, my friend?
man, I am doing fantastic. Had a little bit of a rough week last week. Had a little bit. I mean, I told you, not too many people know. My son was in the hospital last week. He had to do his thing. He kind of fought like he did and got out of there quick as he could. I mean, so we back. He got him home on Friday, but I had to watch the game in the hospital in the ER, actually, and it was kind of a unique experience watching it on my phone. But after he's good to go. Everything's great with him. He's straight. He's a fighter like I've always been. Everything's good to go. But watching the game in the ER was kind of a different experience. Like I said, I watched it. I said, all right, so we got a game like 10-7. Then we kind of just took off. But I'm gonna leave it there right now. So I know we're gonna get into it early or a little bit later on. But it was. I was watching the game, no doubt.
Yeah, brother. It was that was something to see. It was just absolutely. I mean, kind of already.
I don't think it's what we expected, bro. I mean, I didn't expect that. I mean, I expected a little bit of more of a fight, but
I did too. I'm being honest with you. I did too. I mean, I thought that TCU was coming and they were bringing all the funk, and it turns out that they only brought part of the funk. I mean, I'm not trying to dog the fellas or anything like that.
no,
I'm
I
not
just
trying
think
to
they were
dog them or
overmatched.
anything. It's just all the fight and scrap that they had all season long. I was expecting that they were going to come out and they were going to whoop everybody. I thought they were going. I thought they were going to be making big tackles, breaking up plays, knocking down passes because they would have come from behind Kings
I mean, the
all
first couple of
season long.
series, I mean, it looked like they were ready to run business, and but the thing that spoke volumes to me was Duggan, like Max Duggan. Actually, I think it was. I don't know if it's true or not. Whatever, it was on. I was on social media, so take it what it is. But he said like when they were in the tunnel, somebody. I mean, so many fans were like barking at him. They
Yeah,
were
yeah. He
barking
said
at
that
him.
was hard for her to handle.
Yeah, he said they were definitely taken back by that. So I was like, yeah, you're in trouble.
Most definitely, most definitely. Hey, something new has been added. We got the second camera here in Saginaw Central. So,
I noticed a
oh,
new
buddy,
view, man.
is a Baja?
I noticed a new
What's
view.
that?
I got you straight on now. I got you straight on now. I see the view.
Yeah, well, see, right here, this is the side view. This is what people see when they come in from the side. But then, boom, bang, we switch back to this primary camera,
You
and
got
here
that
we
high dollar
are.
stuff. Look at you. You making too much money, man. Come on
Man, please, I had a credit on Amazon. Don't even play. That camera was $19.
now.
That was look. These were gifts. That was a gift. That was a gift. All of this up
Hey,
here was gifts. All I
it's
spent was
like one of them things. Like it rather be lucky than good, and rather get gifts than be rich. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It is what it is.
All I had to do was spend. I spent like $19 for the shelf, and I used my
I do
Amazon
like
credit.
that though. I do
I
like that.
used
That matches you fucking perfectly. Absolutely.
I used my Amazon credits. I used my Amazon credits to get the second camera because I'm like, you know what? I want a second camera. I want to get a second view. I want to be able to be like the news reporters. In UGA football news today, Coach Kirby Smart said, and we'll kick their butts again. And then switch to the next camera and be like, sources close to Coach Kirby said.
I like that though. I like that. That one, that one button.
Sources close to Coach Kirby said, well, we can't really repeat most of what he said because it is actually unfit for network television. But he had
You
a
know what's
lot to
funny
say
about that?
about
Though?
it.
Not to cut you off, not to cut you off, but that actually came out that actually that rant was not the TCU game. That was like an earlier game. He said that was not from the game before the national championship. He said that was not it. Nobody has heard the best one yet. So I mean, I'm hoping. I mean, I don't.
Oh, the best one. I don't know. I don't know. I think that tops the Florida game because remember Florida game from last year.
For sure, for sure. I want to hear the
Man, I
best one
was
though. I
well.
mean,
I don't know
can it be more f bombs? I mean, how can you beat it? I mean, it's,
dude. That look that speech had more f bombs.
well, I mean, it made me
It
want to
had
run.
more. That
I
speech
mean,
had more f bombs than the Wolf of Wall Street and Eddie Murphy Raw put together, and
yeah,
Goodfellas
but
on
I
the
mean,
side.
didn't it make you want to run through the wall just for general principles?
It
Just I
it,
mean, like
it,
run
it
through the wall.
I felt like it, but then I remembered how old I am, and I remembered the limitations of my health coverage through my
For sure,
job. So,
for
you
sure.
know,
For sure.
I'd
I
have
got
a
you.
hard time going to work explaining to my boss how I got a fractured skull and a separated shoulder and a dislocated elbow and a
What'd you
hip
do? I
up.
just ran through the wall. I heard Kirby and I just want
I
to run through the wall.
I was
What's wrong
listening
with
to
you?
my coach. I just felt like fighting. I felt like fighting. I wanted to fight, so I ran outside and I
I
started
mean,
to fight.
honestly, dude, that's one of those speeches that motivated. Hey, regardless of the verbiage of whatever you're saying, man. I mean, you got to get your point across. You know what I'm saying? I
Right,
mean, that's
right.
just
And he did. And he did. He did 100% because they did not lose a single game this season, and they, aside from
yeah.
aside from the conference championship game last year, they didn't lose a game all last season. So last season they went 14-1. This season they went 15-0. That is absolutely crazy. Like
And
those,
what's crazy to me is like when they were doing when the game was over and everything, and like even Kirby, like Stetson said it beforehand. He was like, you guys have been against us. I know he was talking about the media, and he was talking about some of the fans actually, and then Kirby echoed the same sentiment. You know what I'm saying?
uh-huh.
And a lot of the media was like, nobody doubted. I was like, come on, man, you guys are lying. I was like, everybody doubted us after losing 15 players and five off of defense. You know what I'm saying? Like five of our starters. Yes,
That
it was.
well, that was
Everybody was
that
down the dogs.
there was
Everybody was down the dogs.
there was a little bit of doubt there. I mean, hell, even we asked the question like, "Yo, we losing a lot of guys on defense." I think we even said we think the defense will take a step back, which meant that
Yeah, but I mean, me personally, I said I think they may, but I don't think it's going to be a bigger step back as everybody thinks it's going to be. You know, what I mean, I mean, they check, hey, check the receipts. But I mean, I didn't think it was
hey,
going to be that way. But I mean, honestly, it was more. To be honest with you, fingers is like I think it was more of a complete team effort this year, as opposed to
oh yeah,
last year. I mean, our
because
defense was awesome, but I think it was
last
more
year,
complete team. Yeah,
last year was defense first. Offense scoring off the defense the defense would just set the offense up inside the 30-yard line easily.
of
You know
course.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. I
Uh,
agree. I agree.
a lot of times, I mean,
But the
when
defense
you
stepped up this year big time, and the offense. I
yeah, they
mean,
did.
the offense actually
As,
was better than last year. I
as,
think. I think the offense was definitely better last year. Better than last year.
yeah, as a matter of fact, Georgia finished the season with the number one rush defense in the country. They
Really?
held
I didn't.
they held everybody else to 7 rushing touchdowns, 77 yards per game, and
Mm,
2.88 yards per rush.
yeah,
That's it.
and we.
That's
But
all.
we have a run back by committee. I mean, but look at who we have though. We got Mac, Kenny
No,
Mac. We got Edwards.
I'm not talking about our running backs. I'm talking about other teams' running backs.
Yeah, yeah.
They,
No, I got you. I got you. I understand.
I
I
mean, and
understand.
then
Our defense
I
like they put up.
I like Kirby's philosophy because it's a switch. Back in the day when Vince was coaching, and you had the Bolshin, Backlund, and those guys. Don't get me wrong; those guys are great in their own right, but
Right.
there was always the guy who was the running back. Period. You had Herschel, you had Garrison, you had
Right.
you had Rodney
PD.
Hampton, right? And now you got this running back by committee, and each of those guys has a different running style, and all of them are absolutely phenomenal. Now, I will say this: the pass defense did take a step back. I'm looking to see where Georgia finished the pass defense.
Well, yeah, you
Um,
had a great point though. I mean, like in the side conversations. I mean, like it wasn't actually centered around, um, you know, Ringo. I mean,
right.
it wasn't like he was being picked on. I mean, it's like it was the other guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of those other guys, and that has a big. Wow, Georgia did not finish in the top 50 in pass defense this season. That's amazing. Passing
No,
yards
really.
allowed.
Though. I mean, look at what we said before though. Our secondary. I mean, is what it is. But I mean,
It was a young secondary. Is a young
yeah, but
secondary that
they
that
produce when they needed to. I mean, you know what I mean?
yeah, Georgia finished well. Pass yards, it was number 54. Now last year they were either number one or close to number one in both categories, but they shut down the
Right.
run, and that's important because
Yeah,
when you got a team that's trying to grind it out on you and run the clock out, that's when the defense is stepping up and creating those turnovers.
yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I mean, there isn't much else that I can say positive for this team. I mean, you think about the accolades is like every time Georgia needed to step up, when they needed to step up, they did. Because let's be real
Yeah,
about this. I'm looking at pass offense. They were 15th in the nation in passing offense, only 295.8, and the bulk of that was padded by guess what? The Ohio State game, because we had to pass heavy to come back out of the hole.
yeah,
The national championship, because we basically Stetson threw the ball all over the field.
yeah,
Who was the last game of the season? Georgia Tech, where they just kind of did what they
yeah.
wanted to do against Georgia Tech. I would say the last 2-3 games of the season were what bumped Georgia up in that ranking. Now we want to get into rushing offense. I'm pretty sure that's a little bit of a difference. That y'all forgive us for not being 100% on point with the stats on deck, but thank God for the internet because you can just pull them up and look. Um,
Google that stuff.
Yeah, wow. Number 19 in rushing, 205 yards per game.
Who was number one? Can you pull that real quick? I think it was
Uh,
Kenny Mack. Was Kenny Mack or was it Edwards?
our number one
Kenny
rusher.
Mack.
Our number one rusher. I got that. We'll get to that in a minute. But dig this. Wow, I did not know this. Check this out. One of the worst teams in college football this season was West Point. Do you know that they were number 2 in the country with 289.4 yards rushing per game? Of course, a big part of that is because their quarterback had no arm. But I give you 3 guesses who the number 1 rushing offense in the country was this year.
I mean, I don't think I'm probably going to miss all 3 of them.
Well, just give me one
Rushing,
stab and then I'll jump in.
rushing. Yeah, that was not us. I mean, hold on.
I'm gonna put it to
Ohio
you like
State.
this: you're gonna have to think way outside the box. It was it. I'll go ahead and tell you, ladies
Go
and
ahead, John.
gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the number 1 rush offense in the country belonged to none other than the Air Force Academy.
Look at that.
320, 326.7 yards, which is funny considering
Per
most people are
game?
doing per game, average per game.
Holy smokes.
Indeed, holy smokes.
Wow.
Oh, hi, Nicole. I had to look to see who that was commenting.
and,
Because it just said
and
Facebook user.
just what you just said, that it was funny. I saw a comedian, and I posted on our group chat or whatever, but it was like,
Oh yeah, the guy that said the army was
yeah, it's like how can you have like all these guys, the most dangerous people in the world, on the Army, and they suck at football.
that's the truth. Let me see what I can do here. There we go. I think that's going to be the best one. To answer your question, Nicole, yes, it does make me sad when they had to go, when they had to leave and go off in the league because you not so much because we think we're going to suck when they leave, but just uh, the memories of watching them play and evolve.
Yeah,
Especially a guy like Keely Ringo who was on the squad but really didn't jump into prominence until last season. Um,
it's
guys like
kind of like having a relationship with the team, the players and everything. And you just know a
yeah,
lot about them and watch them, like that you just said, like grow and prosper and that kind of stuff. Then
you
to
know
have them
this
go to the
this
next level,
this
kind of
is the
bittersweet.
yeah, and this is the last bit of the squad that made the comeback. The squad that this is the last bit of the squad that were freshmen right after the national championship run in 2017. So
Right.
a lot of those guys are either graduating and moving on to other things or leaving for the draft. Jalen
Yeah.
Carter, Nolan Smith, Keely
But I
Ringo.
tell you what, man, and not to get off kilter here, but I'm saying like when we got up that much on TCU and we saw them third stringer guys come in, I mean that gave me hope, bro. I mean you see the fire on those guys. I mean there was no quitting those guys. They were trying to score. You know what I mean? Defense and offense. I mean they were playing their hearts out. So, I mean that was a good thing for me to see.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Would like to thank our one viewer, Nicole Plycheck, for watching. I know. Listen, we know there's a big game on tonight, and we're gonna be checking it out ourselves. Matter of fact, we're gonna just go ahead. You know what? Let's just go ahead and jump right on in it, man. We've pretty much done all the talking that we've done. We've gone over the stats. We've done all that. UGA, that back-to-back national champions. Go Dogs. Hope you
Boom.
guys. Hey, look, regroup and get ready. The spring game is in 3 months. For those of you leaving, the draft, the combine is in a little bit. The draft is coming. Get yourself together. Go make us proud. Uh, Stetson Bennett, 18 to 25, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, 4 pass, 2 touch. So he had 6 tutties total. We had 17 points off of turnovers. That
Yeah.
was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. They held TCU to 188 yards of football in 4 quarters. Um,
Yeah.
Actually, Nicole makes a good point. I wasn't going to get into this until later, but you talked about Stetson earlier. Let's go ahead and talk about it, man. The
I
end.
mean, you know my feelings about him, man. I mean, the dude, you can't. I mean, honestly, I mean, people can't still try to talk bad about the kid, but you can't. There's nothing really bad you can say about him, and you can kind of feel, you can kind of see the swagger in him a little bit. It built, how as it built up. But I mean, he deserves that. I mean, like honestly, look at the fourth quarter against like Ohio State. I mean, like we were dead. I mean, like honestly, we were dead. He came back. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say that we were fortunate not to have that the kicker missed the field goal, or whatever. But I mean, if you actually look at the replay, if he'd have kicked it straight, if he would try to kick it through the uprights, I mean,
It
we
would have got
had we
blocked.
had Jackson. It would have got blocked. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that we got blocked, and that's
Hands
why it was
down.
like a duck. But it just for him that 2 minute drill, he owned that fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying?
He
Like we
did.
were never out of that game. Like he owned that fourth quarter. And when he after that interception, you know what he did? I mean, after they scored, you know what he did? You saw they showed a picture of him on the bench, and he pounded his chest and said, my fault." He went in there and he recommended, he fixed it. You know what I mean? That's what you say about it. I mean, he can make mistakes. He's going to come back more times than not. He's going to rectify it. He's going to actually make good on his mistakes. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just I don't understand. Still, we still have Georgia fans that give him grief and say he's not
And
good.
and
Which I
they're
mean,
go and
I
you
don't
know what?
understand it.
There's nothing that we can do that will change anybody's mind about that. Period. Those folks that feel that way are going to feel that way 10 years from now.
Yeah,
They're gonna
I
be
mean, it's not
folks
like I'm.
on.
It's not like I'm putting him on a pedestal. Like, no, I'm not. I mean, he's not saying he's the greatest quarterback in the world or in college football. No, he's not. I mean, he's pretty doggone good. But I don't. I mean, whatever you want to say. But for him to be touted, I mean, him being a walk on, him being, like just buried beneath the depth chart. Even Monken said that in the press conference. They buried him, tried to get him to quit, get him out of here, but he wouldn't go away.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that is
Hundred
that
percent.
is the perseverance of a. I mean, my opinion, he should have won the Heisman Trophy. That's not a homer opinion. That's just like that's an embodiment of you know that type of player. I mean, that's just me though.
Yeah. 100%. I'm going to be sad to see him go. I mean, he has contributed to some of the most exciting moments in Georgia football history
Yeah,
in the last 4 or 5 years, to include the moments when he came in just playing in garbage time and was dropping
yeah,
dimes. I mean, you
sure.
called it. You said
Now,
then you said that boy's going to be something special. Now, little
but I'm
do we
saying like
know
people,
the
people
whole
that
backstory.
people that actually like was talking trash about his arm. Have you seen him throw the ball like in the last couple of games? I mean, it was rocket fire. Like you could, I mean, he was popping that wrist. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what they're talking about. I mean, he's got an arm.
That he
Whether it's
does.
15, 20 yards or 40 yards, whatever it may be. But I mean, some of those across the middle,
Excuse
Bob
me.
Bowers. I mean, good God. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't. Brock didn't get like knocked back a couple of because he wound up.
Man, look, man, this is how you know you getting a little up there. I just sneezed and I felt the whole back of my neck twinge up. That ain't even cute. But why, Jesus? But why? That's all I want to know is why. A pimp. Sometimes a pimp don't have the neck to pop it around like he used to. And now you got me. You telling me that who is this talking about first? Showing up late. Who is that? Let me see it.
First, I mean seventh.
Yeah, something like that. Who is that? Sorry, can't see your name on here on the screen there. It's just giving us a big M. That's it.
But anyway, we're talking about Stetson, right? I mean,
Oh,
SP
what's
for.
going on? Oh, it's the homie Scott Taylor. What's going on, bro?
Oh, what's up, though?
Thank you for joining the fray today. Like I said,
But
told
just
it a
just
lot
one
of.
more thing about Stetson. Just one more thing about Stetson. I'm sure you've read this or heard Kirby talk about it. He actually went into office with Kirby. It was like, hey, I'm talking to several people, just like right off in the sunset. You won a national championship, something that hadn't been done in 41 years. Just take the accolades and just right on out. He's like, well, that's what I want to do. Why can't we run it back? You know what I'm saying? That just shows. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, to me, man, I'm glad he came back. He didn't do anything bad. I mean, it was just the nature of the situation. I mean, it was an extra year for COVID. He did his thing. Like he was a red shirt. Then he went to JUCO, then came back.
Uh huh.
He had that extra year. He didn't do anything wrong. I mean, everybody's like now, if it wasn't his arm, is him being short, his stature, or whatever. Now it's his age. Now everybody's
Right.
like griping and moaning about his age. I'm like, come on, man. I mean, find something else to gripe about.
Right. 100%. And I can tell that our boy Scott is definitely a Cowboy fan. We see where his allegiances lie. We're gonna wrap this up soon, so those of you that are watching don't have to be conflicted sitting in front of the TV and looking through the comment section. And then my wife is sitting out there right now,
Oh,
waiting
that's
for her
right. I
boys
forgot
to
about
come
that.
out.
I got play-by-play right here, though. So
Yep. Let's see what we got going on here. Where are we? Oh, so yeah, Stetson Bennett riding off in the sunset. And of course, for Stetson riding off into the sunset, we got some dollars to declare for the draft. But before we get into that, let's run this real quick commercial show. Our folks who love, if you guys love football cards, and I know some of you do, it is becoming a thing again when people are collecting those football cards. We want to show a little love to our sponsors. So you guys hang tight. We'll be right back with more of This Week in UGA Football. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That is a shout out to our sponsor this evening, Squid Ribs Cards. Our guy Sydney Swinton. Wow, tongue twister. Cannot talk today. And his lovely wife Ash doing the doggone thing. They have all kinds of cards, and they're getting good ones. They're getting Joe Montana cards. I think they had a rookie Joe Montana, or maybe it was a final season Joe Montana yesterday. But we got dogs declaring for the 2023 draft. We are This Week in UGA Football. I am Mr. Fingers. That's our guy, Colin Pete from the DMV, talking UGA football on the internet with me. There we go. So we talk about
Amen.
dogs enjoying the draft, or have declared for the draft. We already mentioned Jalen Carter. It's looking like Jalen is going to be probably the highest, one of the highest taken front defenders that will be declaring for the draft. What is this doing? Oh, NFL draft prospects. There we go. Why is it doing that? See, I clicked on the link and it had a whole thing that popped up that had all the names laid out, and then while we were talking, it reverted. See, these websites are tricky like that. It be like that. So what we
Technology,
got
Lord.
going on here? So
Well, no,
Jalen Carter being our highest ranked player, 6'3", 310 pounds. We already know what that guy's capable of. You saw him do the come on, get over here and just pick up Jaden Daniels. So, but he's our highest ranked player going in the draft. They're predicting that he's going to be a top 10 pick. Keely Ringo, cornerback, 210, 6'2", runs a 4.35. They're looking at him to go probably first round. He's going to be a highly picked defensive back.
yeah.
Behind them, the aforementioned Nolan Smith, outside linebacker, 235, 6'3". Slender but muscular, dangerous. Also was a great compliment to Jalen on the front in that front seven.
You know what? You
Uh,
know what's crazy about Nolan man is like I didn't realize the way he looked without pads and helmet on. Him being on the sideline, the way he's got them glasses
he
on,
looks
the
like a
way
little boy.
yeah, he looks small, dude. He looks like a little dude. But I mean, you see him in pads and see him like running over dudes and sacking quarterbacks. He's like, oh, okay, all right, I got you, I hear you.
Yeah, yeah,
But
one hundred
I mean,
percent.
like he's the 100% like part of the team, and he was there all day, every day. Like he was a captain. So I mean, I do see why. 'Cause, I mean, he was definitely a polarizing figure on the sideline for sure.
We also have offensive tackle. Let me make sure I got this right. Okay, offensive tackle Broderick Jones,
Mm-hmm.
coming in at 6'7", 270. Good God, that's a big boy.
Ooh, that's a
Uh,
big boy.
Cornerback Tyke Smith. Safety Christopher Smith. You may remember him. He had the pick six
Yeah,
in the Clemson game last year,
that
and
big boy.
had another couple of crucial picks this year. Center Cedric Van Pran,
Yeah.
3'10", 6'4". We got Kenny McIntosh, our running back, who came back big this year. He had a big
Uh,
come. Not only did he have a big comeback this year, he had a slow start to the year, had a couple of miscues, but he definitely closed the year out big time.
but that was
Uh,
awesome to see him coming back, man. That was like, dude,
Wait a
that's
minute,
awesome.
did
I'm
I read
excited.
this right? Did Stetson declare for the draft? His name is on here as a draft prospect.
Oh, no doubt. Is he really? Hey, let's see what happens.
Or these are, I think these are just draft player rankings. I don't know that this necessarily means that they declare for the draft. So these are all the
Oh
guys that
no,
are finishing up the season and are draft eligible. Outside linebacker Robert Beal Jr.,
yeah, he's gonna
center
be
Warren
real good.
Erickson, outside linebacker MJ Sherman,
Mm-hmm.
center Chad Lindbergh, wide receiver Dominic Blaylock, offensive tackle Warren McClendon,
He was the one who
wide.
was involved. We're getting that in a minute. He was the one involved in that wreck.
Oh, wait a minute. All of these guys cannot be. Oh, I think these guys are all draft eligible, but I don't think they're all going because this has Lad McConkey on here, and I'm pretty sure Lad's coming back for next season. So let's just go ahead and say we'll stop at Stetson Bennett and see what happens after that because I think that's pretty much the draft process. This site is fugazi, man. It's slow as hell. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Fugazi is along the lines of Whack, which I know is also from the 80s and 90s, but you all know Whack better than Fugazi.
Fubar.
Um, anyway, those are our guys that those are our guys
Uh-oh. Negative.
and of course
Yeah.
the team returned back to Athens on Tuesday. And as last year, they started preparations immediately after the game for the celebration, which was a huge parade through the city of Athens. Came back onto campus, paraded around campus, up into the stadium where everybody and their brother gave speeches. Had a whole bunch of the old guys come back. Stetson did what Stetson does, and then we found out yesterday morning that one of our players, um, one of the players of our beloved Dogs was died in a car wreck in the wee hours of the morning. There was 20-year-old Devin Willock, who was an offensive lineman. He was in the car with 24-year-old Chandler LaCroix, who was a recruiting staff member. Let me just go ahead and say this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this to the end. I'm gonna put a kibosh on this right now. There have been all sorts of speculation and what was she doing in the car with him. The team was traveling in a car convoy to Waffle House. They were going to get
Yeah, I mean,
something to eat
Warren
and
McClendon. I was
partying all
going to
day.
tell you, Warren McClendon was in the car with him. Man, Warren McClendon had stitches in his head, so he was in the car with them. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they were going to get some Waffle House. They were just caravanning, and we don't know the details behind the crash. Unfortunately, Devin and Chandler no longer with us. Our
Okay.
condolences to their families. Dog Nation it's a heavy blow for Dog Nation right on the heels of such a monumentous and joyous occasion.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we
And
we,
it's
we
it's
pray.
been it's been a long time since we had something this sad hit Dog Nation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh,
100%.
and after such a joyous occasion, I mean, we just won the second back to back national championship, and one of the staff members and one of the players, and then you have Warren McClendon in that car too. Thankfully, he survived, but the other two, I mean, it's just it's horrible.
Yeah,
You have such a celebration, and then you have such a just the complete opposite. Like a couple days later, it's just
yeah,
bad.
100%. And our condolences to the families of both.
And what made me kind of like more sad is like, I mean, there's pictures being posted on like Twitter and what have you, and
Yeah, you know what?
no, no,
You know
no,
what?
no, no.
You know what? I'm
No,
gonna
no, I'm
say it.
saying Willie had pictures with the kid, like different young dog fans that he was, and everything we heard about Willick, it was like he was the nicest kid, and like there's not a negative word was said out of his mouth, like his teammates and everything else.
I'm gonna
So
say this. If you are out there right now and you are one of the people that are posting pictures that of the accident that were leaked,
uh, yeah,
or you're out there trash talking the team itself. Now, mind you, this is not me being a fan and saying don't trash talk my team. If you're trash talking the University of Georgia, because some idiot said, and I'm pretty sure you saw it, some idiot
mhm.
said, "See, that's what Georgia. That's what you get for being a nasty team." In reference to
No,
Mr.
I
Willick's
posted
death.
this in the
Oh,
group. Yeah,
you the
yeah,
one that posted it. He said
I
that's
was the one to do it. Yeah.
Because Georgia plays dirty and they got a 25-year-old quarterback and that's what they get. You know what? There's a special place in hell for folks like that. You know what,
Hey, isn't it
Kobe?
funny that you talk about karma and you kind of hypocritical on that aspect? I'm like, you talking about oh that's what you get because this, that, and the other. And you posting stuff on that and you having that kind of feeling about that, that
Exactly.
type of thing.
Exactly.
Hypocritical as all get out, man. It
To,
just doesn't make
to,
sense.
this gives me flashbacks to a couple years ago. That couple years ago when I found out, when the news broke that Kobe Bryant had died in a helicopter crash. Do you know that there were about 100 different videos that were all of a sudden on YouTube within less than 24 hours that said footage of Kobe Bryant helicopter crash.
Oh yeah.
And all they did was they took footage from some other random helicopter crash, but they put the title on it so they could get the clicks. There is if you believe in heaven and hell, and if heaven and hell do exist, and there's a lot of people that do believe they exist, there's a special place in hell for folks like y'all.
Hey, if you believe in karma, you do all.
Like if you are serious, if
It's
you
coming.
are seriously, man, if you're sitting at home right now and all you want to do is be the person to be like, oh look, I got pictures of the crap. You know what? Keep that crap to yourself. I almost came out of my mouth and said something. Keep that crap to yourself.
Yeah, no doubt.
Them
No
people's
doubt.
family, them people's families are mourning, and the only thing you care about is look at what I got. You know what? You can go kick rocks.
Hey,
I
like
God, I
I
want to say what I want to say so bad. I want to
like
say what
I
I want to
said,
say so bad, but it's a
football. Like
special.
I said,
Listen, go ahead.
no, I was saying football is inconsequential right now. Like, it's two families have lost
Right.
their baby. I mean, they lost their family member. Football means nothing. Means nothing whatsoever. It doesn't matter who won the national championship. Don't mean nothing about nothing about nothing.
Right.
You know, you have
Look,
two.
it,
You
it
have
was
a
just,
young,
bro. It was
young,
just,
young, young
bro. It was
son.
just last week. It was just last week, week before last. We were praying for Devin Hamlin to pull through.
Of course, and that
Just
wasn't
2 weeks
that.
we were
Of
praying for
course,
Devin Hamlin to pull through, and
yeah.
now you will
Uh,
turn around and do some dumb stuff like this, man. You know what?
yeah.
I,
You're right
I, I
though,
don't I don't
man.
I don't I don't wish any ill
But
will
see,
on
that's the
anybody. I don't wish any
that's
ill
the
will. Hold on. I don't wish any ill will on anybody. I never do. I might not like you. I might not spit on you to put you out if you're on fire. But I do not wish any ill will to come to you. But folks like that, what you get is what you get. And I said it.
that's
I said it here and right now. What you get is what you get. If you were
of
so
course.
concerned with somebody liking or looking at something that you posted on the internet at the expense of someone else's anguish and someone else's pain, just to get somebody to look at it,
Yeah.
you know where you can go and you know what bus you can catch to get there. And that's
Yeah, I
all I
mean,
got
to
about that.
profit, to profit, or to, I mean, that's the world of social media, though. That is the thing about people posting
But
stuff
that ain't all.
without
But come on, man.
any
Come on,
kind of
man.
consequences.
Come
Any kind
on,
of
man.
consequences, they're gonna post what they want to post. But at the same point, though, I'm with you on that. It's like how much of a jackass you got to be to actually post something like that, though. You know
A
what I'm
big
saying?
one.
It's just
A big
yeah,
one.
yeah. No
A real
conscience,
big
no
one.
nothing,
And
just
and
to
if
see
and,
what
and,
you can
and if
do.
you're looking and if you're watching this right now, if this has got shared around in your feed and you watching this right now and you don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, he all. I bet you understand that part. And we
Exactly.
gonna move.
But, I
We gonna
mean, dude,
move.
I mean,
We
you
gonna
got
get.
to.
Listen. Let's move on from this because I mess around and get riled up. We was here to
Well, no, but
celebrate something.
one last thing. Football is inconsequential. I'm telling that for one. I mean, full stop. When you looking at life, look at people losing their peoples and people losing their, in their family, that kind of stuff. Football means absolutely nothing. Any game whatsoever means absolutely nothing. You know what I
Right.
mean? It goes to the back burner. It does not matter. You know what I mean? People lose people in their family. That do. That's just. I mean, that is just. I mean, sports has no bearing on that. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't.
Right.
But for you to be that first, be that kind of person that's kind of try to engage on, try to get the clicks on that kind of stuff because of that. I mean, come on, man. You know.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
so
let's move on.
we gonna move on from that. I'm
Prayers to
sick.
both families and prayers to the Bulldog Nation. Bro.
Yes, indeed. Godspeed to you both. So a couple of quick questions here, and then we're gonna shut this down. We're not even gonna do a 2 minute warning today. We're not gonna do a 2 minute warning today. Uh, is UGA the new gold standard? Are we jumping the gun? Are we just, you know what I'm saying? We've had a couple of very dominant years. I don't want to be the one to jump the gun. I mean, I would love for Georgia to be the new gold standard. I'd love to see us, maybe win a couple more national championships in the coming years. I mean,
Well,
as many as we.
both you and I both know how this goes. It's been 41 years since we won the first one, right? And then, it's been 20 some odd years since the Braves won the World Series. So we know how being Georgia fans are. So we're gonna take what we get, right? I mean, I don't think we look too far ahead. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? We know if something can happen, it will happen. As a
Yeah.
Georgia fan, you know what I'm saying?
But you know
But
what though? I think the difference here. Here's the difference here. Kirby's cut from a little bit of a different cloth, though.
Very true. I agree with that. I
Kirby
agree with
Kirby is cut from a different cloth than any other coach that we've had since Vince Dooley. I
that.
mean,
And he's got a blueprint, dude. He's got a blueprint,
and
and you hear him talk.
he's got this blueprint. I had this discussion with a coworker. I said, listen, you can talk about NIL. You can talk about transfer portal. Oh, by the way, transfer portal. But I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it going because we're trying to keep it short. But we gonna talk about that the next go round when we're on. You can talk about
Yeah.
NIL. You can talk about transfer portal. You can talk about kids feeling entitled. Nothing makes a kid want to go play for a program more than watching them win championships. And guess
Of
what?
course. Well,
Kirby Smart has been the coach of the Georgia Bulldogs since 2016, I believe it is.
yep. So look here. So I'm just not to interrupt you, but I'm just saying, like Kirby is from the cloth. You said cut from a different cloth. He is. He said we're gonna win with what we got. Like we're not gonna go out and get these people. Like we're gonna recruit like we're supposed to, but we ain't doing this transport portal stuff. You're gonna leave. We're gonna win with who we have, and
Right.
that's what we did this year. We
Right.
lost what? Maybe we lost Jermaine Burton. That was the only person we left. We lost to the transfer portal this year, if I'm not mistaken. Or
Yeah.
maybe one or two more. But I
I
mean, at the
wonder
same
if he.
point,
Half of me wonders if he's declaring for the draft this year, if he's going to go back. But that's another story for another day. That's another
yeah.
story
But
for
I mean,
once we
that
find
but
out
we're
there's
talking,
somebody
we're
going.
talking, we're talking about Kirby. So you cut from different cloth.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he
So
wants to
Kirby
win
Smart is
who we
definitely
got.
cut from a different cloth. And Kirby said,
Right.
I'm going to build this program. If I had to build it from the ground up, I will build it from the ground up. And
With who we have.
now the foundation, he built the foundation on his first couple of years and he established his guys. He kept Stetson on and other players. And when it was time to let them shine, he cut them loose and let them do their thing. And now next year, the new crop, you saw the new crop in the game. They came in
Oh,
the fourth
bro,
quarter. And those boys came out hungry
they
and,
hungry.
and hungry. So I don't know. I think I do. I think that Georgia's the gold standard. I think Kirby wants to establish something that he will be able to maintain for a good long
And
while, and he's already well on his way.
no,
He
I
is
agree with that.
well.
'Cause
I look, master of understatement. The team just won two national championships. I'm saying he's well on his way. Kirby Smart has built a program that I think is going to be around for a good long time. But Kirby's only what 40, 46, 47.
oh, you're young, yes, sir.
You
But what
figure
I'm saying is like,
you figure he coached for another. You figure if he coached for another 10 years and then say I'm a coach till I'm 60.
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I think he's got another
I
couple
don't think
national
that's what's smiling
championships in
with
there
you.
somewhere. I don't think he will ever replace Vince Dooley because Vince Dooley will always be special in the hearts of those of us that remember.
Of
But to
course.
the new,
But what makes it even more special is that he
but
played.
to
He
the
played
new,
for you.
yeah, but to the new generation, Kirby is the goat, and I'm not mad at it as far as
No.
Georgia
Did,
coaches go.
did you see on ESPN? I guess it after the national championship, whatever, when David Pollock was talking to Saban, and he's like
I saw it.
Georgia. Did you see
I
the pain
saw
in
it.
his eyes? the pain.
Saban looked like he
Oh,
got
he
a
was so
looked
mad.
like looked like he got a bite full of Brussels sprouts in his Sunday morning little
Oh,
Debbie
he was
snacks.
so mad.
He was
It made
salty,
me
but
smile a bit. Though. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean a little bit, little bit.
A little bit. A little bit.
So to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say this is the end of season 2 here that we're coming on. We're not, like I said, we're not doing a 2 minute warning. As I can see right now, it looks like the score is not surprisingly 0-0. 10 minutes into the game, with the Cowboys at the Buccaneers. But we want to thank each and every one of you that tuned in, that dropped us a comment, that gave the show a like, that gave the show a share, that went and told other people, hey, look, come see what's going on with this show. These are our guys, and we like them, we really enjoy them. Uh, Big shout outs, especially to the crew at SEC Focus for letting us come in and do what we do. We're
Oh,
broadcasting in
yeah.
an SEC Focus group right
And
now.
oh, Jeezy. What up,
Uh,
Jeezy?
Jeezy ain't watching right now. You know Jeezy's in front of the TV. Jeezy and Nikki and Chris and Drew and Scott Thaler and all of them. They're sitting in front of their TVs right now. But we want to thank you guys for bringing us in and letting us be a part of the family, become a part of the family, having us on the shows. We got more stuff coming in season 3. We will be back for season 3. We're gonna moving forward. We're gonna do every other week shows leading up to the draft, and then after the draft, we'll maybe figure out where we're gonna go from there because it's gonna be a whole lot of I thought I heard, or there was a rumor, or there was this, or there was that, you know.
I
So,
gotta get me some
but
more accoutrements. I gotta find me a flag with the back to back. I'm still loving the Braves,
oh,
but I
by
think
the
the
way,
Dawgs.
I'm feeling a little bit like an idiot because I didn't think to pull this up before we came on. But by the way, ladies and gentlemen, there is a new shirt making its way to. Oh my God,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
doggone it! And the hard drive is disconnected from the computer right now, so I can't pull the file up to show you what it looks like. Ugh. Oh wait a minute! It's actually live in the shop right now. So by the way, folks, don't forget Zagnif Apparel Design dot myshopify.com. As a matter of fact, let me see because I'm so smart.
Oh, I just think
Actually,
so opposite.
that one is connected to that one's still connected to Etsy shop. We actually have a Shopify shop now,
Oh, okay.
which means that if you make any purchases over $50, you can pay in 4 payments. That means it'll break your payments down into bi-weekly
Okay.
payments at $12.50 a piece.
We put on
Um,
layaway.
yeah, kind of a layaway
Kind of
program.
smart.
Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. But there is a new shirt, and we had to make sure that we did not violate any copyright or anything like that. I done forgot how to spell the name of my own. Ain't that a trip?
Hey,
Yeah, here it is. Let me see if I can share the whole shebangy bang. Wait a minute. Let me see. I'm trying to share, share screen, share.
dude, I'll tell you what, man. I would love for Stetson to get picked up by somebody. Just to
I would
see
too.
him get drafted. See what he can do. I'm not expecting him to ball out, but I'm saying, yeah, I would just like to see it.
I'm with you there. I'm 100% with you there. Where is the doggone? There it is. That's
I
the
just
one.
saw the meme with like the 49 Purdy, and it was funny is Purdy is like 2 years younger than Stetson.
Yeah. There is the shirt, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
It's a back to back jack with the spray paint on it for 2022. And let's see, it is currently how much
Oh,
is
there you
it?
go.
It's $33.
33.
33. And if you look, you can see the if you look, it's got our handsome
There
faces
you
on the
go.
back with the hashtag this weekend Georgia football, Mr. Fingers and blah blah blah. And it also has the it's also got, of course, the Zagnif apparel logo alongside the sleeve. So if you want to pick
Sure.
that up, I'll just go ahead and run this right down here. I'll just stick it in the comments in case any of y'all are interested in picking one of these up. I would be absolutely great. I would be 100% grateful if you guys decided to. I mean, nobody has to, but it means a lot
Yeah,
when we do. It means a lot when we put these things out and you guys pick them up because I know some of you have snuck into the. Oh, it's in the chat. I keep hitting the text button, Colin. I'm hitting the text button, and I'm trying to hit the chat. There you go.
hey. Well, I'll tell you what though. See, if you paid attention on the back of that shirt, you see your boys got the same attire on from the
Oh
back of it.
snap! Wait a minute, for real, for real?
Yeah, absolutely. I got the same hat, same hoodie. That's what I said. I was wearing the same. I was saying I was wearing the same stuff. Just in
Okay,
you
okay.
know what I'm saying?
I don't know if that link is gonna show up in the. That link is gonna show up in the you. That's actually okay. When I comment, it comments in the YouTube feed. So let me go over
Yeah, I see
yonder.
it. I see it.
Yeah, but you're watching the YouTube feed right now, aren't you?
Oh, okay.
It only shows up in the YouTube feed. So let's go ahead and throw this up in the. Oh, I'll get this together in a minute, y'all. Look. This is my first day on the. This is my first day on this newfangled internet. I don't know nothing about the internet.
And you should have
Ninja,
bought a new camera, man. Y'all off kilter.
internet.
You can't see yourself straight on. You got sideways here.
Well, I always was looking at myself sideways because I only had the camera front on, but I had to look over here to see you. So now I got the side camera right here. For those of you just joining, I got a new toy. I have a side camera, and
Yeah,
then
but that camera right there, you can't see the Batman. You can't see the fingers. behind you. No, you can't see the sign.
Yeah, for sure.
There you
Boom,
go.
there it is. I got it. I know how to make it work.
So I'm just saying that because I don't have that much
Uh,
newfangled stuff in my basement. I'm working on that too. So I'm working on my son, and
yeah, but dude,
we got big plans for 2023. Me and my boy, for sure. Get big plans.
there it is. I done put the link in the comments on the SEC focus group. Chris
Titty
Keenhold,
Cowboy.
Chris Keenhold, hey Reverend Red and Black. These technical issues are just Satan trying your patience. Well, you know what? That's funny.
Hey,
That's funny.
man,
That's
they've been trying our patience for 41 years.
hey, that's like our
The
boy
devil's a
Gatch.
liar.
Hey, remember our homeboy Gatch, right?
Oh
That's
yeah,
funny. That's funny.
that's funny. That's
so
funny.
so hey, look, to those of you that just joined, touchdown Cowboys. All right, that means it's time for us to get the hell up off of here because we missing some football. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's edition of This Week in UGA Football. We will be back next Monday. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll find some stuff to bring to you. The season is over. This is the part of the season I hate because we don't have anything to look at and talk about every week.
Hey, look here. I gotta tell you something. Though. Me and you should not talk on the phone between now and then, because we'll lose a lot of content if we talk to each other between now and then.
True,
So,
true.
you know what
Or
I'm
we'll talk about it tomorrow, and then won't even remember to talk about it when we come on
saying?
next Monday.
Exactly. Let's
So
keep it on. Keep it on. You know, keep
yes,
it in
one
your
hundred
sneaker.
percent. So guys, if you want one of those shirts, if you want one of those back to back, it says back to back Jack, available exclusively only in the Zagnif Apparel Design Shop. Go grab yourself one today. It's in the comments for the SEC Focus feed. It's in the comments for the YouTube feed, and in just a few short minutes, it will be in the comments for the This Week in SEC Football feed. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you until next week. It's been a great 2022 season for the Dogs. So until we see you next week, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All right, so Pete, we appreciate you tuning in and watching these videos. Me and Colin will be back every Monday, every Thursday, right on this very channel. Like what you see, hit the like button. Want to get the notifications, hit the subscribe button. Want your peoples to know, hit that share button and send it all across the internet. We appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. We'll be back next time. We'll see you then. Go Dogs.